They're not mixing the styles. Another big issue is fund managers have to realise losses when the market goes down. For a fund manager, losing funds in the bad times is the worst thing that can happen. They should be getting money in, but they won't because they can't, because people have seen the funds go down. But they've also got to sell up their client portfolios. What do you sell, the good ones or the bad ones? A bit of both. And then they've got to keep more cash on hand because there's more redemptions in that year. They've got to keep more reserves. So in the time when they could have bought some great assets, they can't. And that's really another factor that why single sector funds can't work. Low inflation means that your returns are going to have to be lower, but it means we've got to educate our clients about using some of their capital over time because they're not losing it through inflation. And as I said in the past, used to have high inflation devalue their assets. No, it's not going to happen. So even though returns are lower, they'll last longer technically if we can manage them properly. Because the value of what they can buy with those money is not going to depreciate. So that's the general advice warning, but hopefully I've given you a bit of a theme of why you can now present to the planners. From a planner point of view, what's important to them is keeping the clients on board. My view is that the most successful planners who keep the clients on board through the bad times. It's not the planners who put them into the high growth investments in the good time. Anyone can do that. And you can show them a graph goes up and getting 10 to 15% return. That's easy. It's handling them when they goes down 10 to 15% and they're saying you've lost all their money. And the diversification of diversified funds is so powerful that in the bad times they won't drop as much. Technically you can point to the income coming in when those incomes are still pretty consistent through the bad times as well as the good times. And what I've often done in the GFC, we just happen to have a lot of capital gains from the hedging of the portfolio. Half the overseas funds were hedged and they made a hell of a lot of money out of it. And it was getting 7 or 8% income on the balanced fund during the GFC. Because the exchange rate went up in Australian dollars, if you remember. There was a lot of money made out of capital gains on that. It was being realised, therefore it showed up on the income statement. When your client came in and said, oh look, I've taken out, say, 7% of my money as a pension, my fund's gone down 25%, 3 years time my money's gone. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? Let's pull it out. That's the reaction. I said, no, you haven't lost 25% of your money. The value's gone down, let's say 17 or 18%. But you've earned 7% income and you've taken out 7% income. You've still got the same units. Look at the units. There you had some units here, some units here. The valuation's changed, yes. The value will come back because we know over time the market will come back. But you haven't lost units and you're living off the income you're generating. Now that was a bit lucky, but I'm still saying that you'll still generate probably at least 4 or 5% income in a balanced portfolio. And that's not going to look bad when your interest rates are 2 to 3% in the bank. It's still going to look good. And we've still got that message that the income's still going to be being generated at a rate better than you can do in the bank. And that's their benchmark, as you know, the risk-free rate.
Do you use the philosophy of buckets where you have a cash bucket with a certain amount in? No, just whatever the investment generates to the cash account and then out to be used.
Because you've got to remember, I know people do it, and I think that I've never done it because I think it's a waste of capital. Why do you have
sacrifices the return on that component?
Yeah, well, if you look at your total portfolio, you're trying to get the people through 23 years of retirement, and you've got this lazy bucket of capital sitting there waiting for the doomsday, and they're getting 2 or 3% in the bank. It's crazy to me. Because at the end of the day, clients come in, they buy a new car, fix up the house, do some travel, or may have some health issues. They're the big 4 of when they need capital. It's every 3 to 5 years they'll do that. But they don't, it's going to be unusual that you're going to have a GFC when they do need the capital. So you're having all this reserve capital just waiting for a GFC. And remember, the GFC is really a 1 in 100 year event. It's not going to happen tomorrow again, because obviously the banking system around the world has been much more safer. We're going to have recessions, but we're not going to have a great recession like that potentially was. That was equivalent to a Great Depression. The only difference was we didn't get 30% unemployment. It did in Spain and Portugal and Greece, but considering it could have gone all around the world with 25-30% unemployment. If the authorities, the reserve banks, pumped up the system, refinanced the banks, got the money system going. So, you know, preparing for the Great Depression every 100 years is a bit of a waste of money keeping 20-30% of your capital sitting in the reserve pot. So no, I don't do that. And I've never really had someone come in and say, oh look, my friend's finance planner does that. Nobody's coming, because people won't talk about their finances. They don't talk about how much they've got, they won't talk about it. The only time you tend to find clients is if you're looking after clients, sending them referrals, they'll send you referrals. They say, oh, so-and-so, happy with what you're doing. They then will send you, and they don't know the other client's business. They don't know the fees, they don't know what you're invested in. They'll just say, go and see us. So the thing I haven't talked about and finishing off today is if they're not having to move deck chairs on the turning, move these into single sector funds, they're going to have all this time on their hands. They're going to be going home at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. What will I do? What will I do? Well, this is when you start to do the marketing. And this is the main thing is that if you can do more marketing, you're going to get more clients. And the thing is that the planners should be doing seminars, they should be doing giveaways. So the things I give to clients every time they come in is something. So today, the last 2 months, we've been giving diaries. Diaries that they can read. Anyone over 50 needs glasses. They can read that without, they can put things in this diary without glasses. It's big, they can see it. That's the last 2 months, but when that's finished, we'll go on to, we've had lens cleaners. So they never forget me.
Would love one. Right?
Speaking of the
There you
glasses,
go.
I
mate.
need one.
You need one.
Thanks, mate.
Torches. You can put this torch on your keyring. Now it's an LED torch, cost me $2.50. Oh, they're all cheap.
Very good.
This is about $5, I think. But cheap. Every time they come in, they get a reward. So it's not just you don't have to talk about all this managers going up and down. You can talk about financial planning. Financial planning is talking about how much income they have, are they getting a tax down, are they getting the maximum age pension, do they have enough money for their retirement? All those sort of things are in planning. But planners are being fund managers, taking all their time up, not talking about the real things. The key thing here is that these things, when they leave, they remember you because you cared. You got them something that's important. This one has a light on the end. Not many pens have a light on the end. Now for females, this is a security blanket. A lot of females keep this in their light there. They'll keep it in their bags. They will never.
Actually, right?
Sorry.
I've had a few of those pointed at me in the past.
Yeah, there you go. Women hold you up at night.
Yeah, a bit of mace.
But they will remember that because that's their security blankets. They know if they lose their keys or they can't open the car door and it's dark, they've got a light in their handbag. Now, it's not just any of it, it's at about $5.50 this. It's got your pen and the other end, a little doover for your iPad. So it's a little bit more than just a pen. It's a security blanket for them. Same for the torch. Women love that torch because they will come back and you see it on their keyring or in the handbag. Because it's something you showed you cared, not just about their finances, about them. And that's just the whole experience when they're going out the door saying, oh, here's your diary for next year. Oh, thanks for that, I was really looking for it. And they're now getting what we're ringing up, have got the diary. Because they're looking for that diary, it just works well for them. So your marketing there's 3 major areas of marketing. Seminars, important. If you've got quarterly seminars, regular seminars, presenting to clients, telling them what's going on. So the last seminar we did was on change in superannuation and the age pension. We had about 70 people last time. We normally get 40 to 50, but when it comes home like anything, the big things that you get your seminars for is retirement homes, aged care, age pension changes, and superannuation changes. You'll get big rollouts for those. Because it's the things that really hit home for them. If they're going to change your age pension on 1st of January, yes, they want to know about it. Am I going to lose my pension? And we're getting a lot of people through just reviewing those in the last 2 or 3 months. But you do a seminar and it just gets people to reassure them that you know what you're talking about. It also reassures them that they're okay, that you've cared enough to get that seminar, same place, same location, same time, and they're used to coming to that seminar. You've got them programmed. That's important, because it's not important so much when things are going okay, it's when you hit the Lehman Brothers. And then they think, oh God, what's going to happen, what's going to happen? You've got your seminar out within a week, that's what we did. Letter sitting in an envelope saying, what's happening in American banks? Yes, they know, no one thought all their money's gone. That's what they thought. If you've got your systems developed so that you can then get out to clients very quickly, because they know the venue, they'll know where to come, time, all that sort of thing, it was already programmed into their mentality. So seminars to me is just so important. And actually I was talking to Barry earlier, he was saying that Retire Invest used to insist on all their planners had to do so many seminars a year. And then they decided that was such a good idea, they got rid of it. And they went to RI, and they've gone back to Retire Invest apparently as their name. But that was their offer. They had to do those seminars. They're so important to get out there in front of the clients, so that you know what you're talking about, so that you're interested in what's happening. It's got to be interesting, topical, and well presented. But you're not going to be an expert the first time you do it. But it doesn't matter, as long as you get in front of people. That's what I found with the seminars. That
And you leave it
time,
open, Russ, for your clients to bring.
yeah, bring a friend. It's always in the bottom of the letter. One-page letter goes out with my letterhead, on my letterhead, on my photo, so they know who it is. It's sending them I don't know who Charter is, but you know, who cares? But at the end of the day, yeah, you've got to have that one-page letter, a little bit of colour in there, bring a friend, time, date, location. Just a little bit about, a teaser about what the seminars, because we always do 2 topics. So it was, is housing overvalued and changes age pension superannuation rules. Just a bit of a teaser. We're going to look at that, and then they come in. I go through an hour, no more than an hour. Give us some drinks. Don't put food on, because the husband goes off and gorges himself, and then the wife goes home and says, "Oh, I cooked this beautiful dinner. Now you won't eat it." You know, so you don't put on food. That's my view. Drinks, you know, alcohol, soft drink, that sort of thing. And they get to come as a concept of part of their social life. They know that every quarter we're going to do this seminar. They know that they're going to go in, get a bit of an interesting topic, well presented. I've got better as over time. I used to use classic slides initially, and now we've got, you know, this all this beautiful PowerPoint stuff. But they know they can see it, they know they can read it, and they keep coming back because they know they get something of interest to them. And they can go away and think, oh, okay, everyone else in the room was happy, so I should be happy. You know, that's a big thing. Because most people don't know how wealthy you are. In America, people scott about their wealth. Australians don't. So you don't know if you're living next door to the millionaire next door. They won't tell you. But when they come into that room, they know they're with wealthy people. They get that feeling, look, all these other people are wealthy, I must be wealthy. That gets a positive feedback for them. That they're in the same boat with these wealthy people. So I can't emphasise enough how important seminars are. I'll send it to Matt here. I've got a seminar on seminars. So if you want to take that around to your planners and say, look, this guy here is in Canberra, a bit of a dickhead, but anyway, go and do what he does and you'll do well. You know.
Oh, don't give yourself a hard time.
Nah, that's right.
Oh, Canberra and Jess.
That's right. But anyway, the thing is, there's tools out there. There's, you know, I've learned over 26 years all these things, but you know, it's the younger people who can come in and not make the same mistakes. That's the thing. You've got the potential to bring those guys in and say, this is what's going to work and this is not going to work. And that's your, obviously, mentoring process. But if you've got something you can give to them, say, look, read about how this guy does seminars, he's made it successful. If you follow these rules, you won't be a success overnight. It'll take you might get 5 or 10 people the first time, then you get 10 to 15, and then 30. But if you keep reiteration is important, because if they get consistency in being invited, they then say, oh, well, this guy keeps sending me the invitation, saying, oh my God, that seems interesting. And then you get them, once they often come back. Not every time, they'll pick and choose their topics. But I had a guy ringing and say, oh look, all my friends got the seminar and I didn't, what was going on? Oh, obviously something in the mail, or our database was mucked up. But anyway, we sent him, we'll send him the soft copy. And as I said, I video it, and it's now on my website as well. So people can go to the website.
So if you do one every quarter, how much of your content is recycled?
Very little. It's probably every 2 or 3 years you might do, like aged care is a good one. You can do that every 2 or 3 years. What I normally try and pick up in the topics, and I can send you the list of the last 13 years topics, is something that's going on in the newspapers. Like we've done one seminar on mapping the human genome. You think, well, why is that important for financial planning? Well, because people are going to live longer, they're going to have more money. But to go through that process and go through the logic of how mapping the human genome, there's actually, the seminar I pitched that one from BlackRock. But you can get these seminars, you don't have to make them up yourself. I do now pretty much 100% make them my own up. But you can get them up from other fund managers where they've done a seminar on the price of oil or something like that. So a lot of the topics are something, when the price of oil went up to nearly $2 a barrel, $2 a litre, I did it on what's happening with oil prices. Because people fill up the petrol, so, well, it's going to go to $3, what's going to happen? So you can do on topics that are interesting and topical, but also make it entertaining. Don't make it more than an hour. Don't put on lots of food. Don't go and sort of make it into a big jazzy thing. Just make it nice and low key, so people can come on, get in, get out again, go home, and have get the information very, very succinctly. That's my view. But if you can do the seminars, it brings in other clients because you can do them. You can have as I said, bring a friend. It gets out and saves you a lot of time. Because you've got to remember, if you're saying this one story to 70 people, you don't have to do it over the phone to 70 people or in front of the 70 people. You're industrialising your process.
What's your process for the friend?
Just they bring along, I don't know who they are, they just ring up, RSVP, we got to put their name down because they're going into a club, so they have to put their name down. So we'll see a few names down, and I don't chase them up. It's up to
So
them.
you leave them to...
To come in, if they want them to come in.
But I'm sorry, I mean after that.
No, I don't chase them up after that, no. Because it's up to them, because I don't even have their phone numbers.
No, right.
Well, I don't collect their phone numbers. So they come along, see if you've got 2 arms, 2 legs, know what you're talking about. But if you can go up and present to people, they see, well, that's my view, is that if you can present to people, give them some interesting topics, know what you're talking about, you've got a good chance.
With referrals, do you give rewards for referrals?
Yes, that's right. Well, $25 gift vouchers from Woolworths for anyone who sends a referral. Now, I don't promote that much, but I did do a card at one stage and put out in the mail to clients when we did their annual statements. And nobody sent the card back in, but I got referrals indirectly from that. But every time a client comes in, new client comes in, I've got a space on my initial worksheet to say who referred you. And I send out a thank you in the mail.
It's funny, I was having a discussion with David and Staten this morning about a separate topic, but to do with leadership and the qualities of what we think a good leader sort of represents, Russell. And, to simplify it, there's 2 components in our industry, and that is be a very good fiscal manager, right, of money and custodian of your client's money in our case.
Yep.
And the other side is the commercialised aspect of business, right? So I think about, my planners, and I would say 50, maybe higher than 50% of them are very, very good practitioners. A lower percentage would be very good business managers. What I get from your presentation is that you cover the psychology off extremely well. You're absolutely in depth into the psychology of the relationship,
Yes.
which I think so many planners don't understand.
Yes, that's right.
And the second thing, you're all over your financial model and keeping that as simple and as robust as possible.
That's right. That's right.
I don't know how to commercialise your presentation. I liked it.
You got the video.
Yeah, one button. Beep. Go on.
You guys have a smoke while they're watching it.
Have 20 at last.
Are you happy to share the slides as well?
Some.
Absolutely, yeah. You just if you give me your card or something, I'll email it to you. So or I'll send some out as well, and you can send it around. But as I said, I'll put this on my website as well, so that you can just go into the website and go through YouTube and we'll pick it up there as well. But the concept is that, yeah, the seminar, marketing seminars, your giveaways, they're just little things, but they all add up to the showing you that you care.
Yeah.
And end of the day, clients are going to not talk about whether they got 15% return and another guy down the road got 5. They never talk amongst themselves about their return. So trying to be the best planner fund manager is not going to work.
Yeah.
No, that's not going to get you more clients. It's because, oh, Russell gave me this nice lens cleaner, because when they pulled it out at the Mahjong game, they said, oh, what's that? Oh, this is my planners gave me this.
Oh,
Yeah, full
100%.
trade.
I honestly
Full trade.
it's something so, seems so simple,
Mm.
none of the planners do it. And I think that's because they don't get any junk, you know, or sort of marketing stuff out of the corporates anymore, because we've sort of locked down that expense.
Yeah, that's right.
They're not concentrating on something that does have an enduring, you know,
Aspect.
yeah, it does. People
Okay.
don't forget.
What do you think about AMP advice?
Oh yeah!
Turn the video off.
Yeah, you mean the spark
Yeah,
stores
just
and all
in,
that.
yeah, from
Well-
given
Should we,
you've
should we
got.
turn the video
give
off?
it a-
Mike?
Hit the pause button.
Turn the
Off the
video off.
record.
No, it's a, no, given you